Well, welcome everybody. We're certainly happy to have you all here with us this evening. My name is Jonathan Jones. I'm privileged to be your host and moderator for this evening. Jeff Ashby is my co-host. Today is Thursday, and it's August the 18th, 2022. We're talking about product today, Engage Global product. But before we started talking about the product, I thought it might be a good idea to just dive back in, because there's a video that I think everyone should share whenever you get a chance to. So keep this in mind and use this. If you are an Engage Global affiliate, you can share this with anyone from your Engage Global app. And anyone who decides to install the Engage Global app can also share.
The story of MMF really begins on 9/11. And that's when Marine Corps Systems Command asked a very important question of a group of doctors and research scientists. Is it possible to protect our men and women in uniform from the inside out? We do a great job at protecting our troops from bombs and bullets, but what about from all of those invisible threats that cause our men and women in uniform to be 4 times more likely to contract illness and disease?
After 9/11, our group of clinicians and scientists was approached by the Department of Defense to develop a program, a micronutrient program in our area of expertise that could protect our soldiers, our Marines, our sailors, our airmen from hostile environments, because it was clear after 9/11 that the country was at war. We worked very hard to develop, with congressional funding and working with the Department of Defense, and in fact working with NASA, to develop this formulation. MMF was really for the soldiers.
All of these organizations and skilled people working together ultimately availed us the creation of a supplement that in fact and indeed does protect the human body from the inside out. So when we discovered this, when we learned of MMF, learned of its existence, and learned what it does, we knew absolutely that we had something very special.
Oxidation is a normal process of metabolism in the body. It affects all cells and tissues. And this process elaborates free radicals. When free radicals are present in excess, they cause a condition called oxidative stress or oxidative damage. In combination with this problem is another culprit, and this culprit is called inflammation. Inflammation is like a blood brother to oxidative damage. They recycle each other, they work together, and you can rarely have one without the other. There's a third component to this group, and that's impairment of immune function. So when you get oxidative damage in combination with inflammation and in combination with impaired immune function, that's when the body gets into trouble.
Free radical production caused by oxidative stress. It's an issue that leads to a host of human health conditions. Just as a lead pipe left out in the rain over time will oxidize or rust, we human beings are aging and rusting because of free radicals. Free radicals attack cells, proteins in cells, lipids and membranes, and even DNA. In fact, DNA is attacked very early in the process.
The military micronutrient formulation, or MMF, is a unique proprietary blend of important antioxidant micronutrients and key minerals to conform to the CQF format. Basically what that means is we have uniquely combined endogenous antioxidants, the kind that the body makes, with dietary antioxidants, those that you get from the diet, and importantly, glutathione elevating agents. Glutathione is your body's most important internal antioxidant. What we've been able to do is combine these in the right dose, the right ratio, the right isoform, and with the proper dose schedule to give you the best biologically available and best biologically effective product. And that's why we get the excellent results that we get with MMF.
It's an oldie goldie. So that video has been around for a while. Probably not one single person in that video is recognizable because most of them are not with the company today, but the content there is rock solid. So feel free to share that video with anyone. So that kind of gives you an idea of the background and the origins of the product MMF. It's called Micro Daily today, and it's come a long way. Things have changed significantly. The packaging is quite a bit different. It's no longer in that same military packaging that was originally produced for soldiers on the battlefield. Now it comes in something a little bit more convenient. Not sure if you can say it's more convenient because it's just packaged differently now. It certainly is a little bit more, it's more affordably packaged, I believe. But I'm going to just jump into this brochure here for a second because we said we were going to be talking a lot about the some of the products, and we're going to focus in a little bit on the products. And we're very fortunate to have Jeff Ashby here with us because he's been involved in a lot of the product formulation and the history of the product formulation for a long time. He's seen the genesis of every single one of them. I still remember the day that I got a call from Jeff when they had developed the Hydro, which is the original formula, but in a powder that can be mixed in with a bottle of water. Very nice, very nice. It actually tastes good. I hate to say it, but I was really surprised at how good it tastes. But it really is good, and kids even like it. I've only run across maybe one or two people, since I've been associated with the company that didn't necessarily like the formula itself. But you had your introduction to the science. This is the brain power behind the formulation of all the products, including MMF and now Micro Daily, Dr. Kedar Prasad. So he goes back to, as the brochure says, and you have access to this brochure. So anyone can have access to this. So you can receive this brochure digitally. Do not take it lightly. It really is packed with a lot of very valid, powerful information that you can have access to. And it should make you feel confident in the product and in the company too, when you have a brochure like this. So they are able to document who and what they are. But just think about this man's credentials, right? So here's a man who spent 30 years in research, well, as a professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine. So he knows something about vitamins. He knows something about cancer research. Drop down a bit there and you'll see that he became the world's first radiation biology PhD. That was back in 1963. And Colorado was the only place that had that kind of a program. It's a 7-year program. He decided to finish it up in half the time. So in about 3.5 years, he was done. He had finished it and became the first radiation biology PhD. So he knows quite a bit about radiation. And it was all because of his knowledge of the nuclear bombs that had been dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So he felt like, well, somebody really ought to figure out a way to help the body to deal with that kind of radiation. So we're very fortunate that man, as a child, thought that it would be a good idea to do something about radiation exposure. And then you just drop down just a little bit more there, and you'll see that millions of dollars were pumped into the formulation of this product. It is unique. There is no other product in this country. There's no other product in the world that has this story. Nothing has the story that there's a connection between the United States government, the United States military, and NASA. Department of Defense. There is no other product anywhere in the world that has that background. So millions of dollars pumped into formulating a product that could support life and in fact sustain life. Now, this on his list of accolades is the one line there that I'd like to always try to draw attention to, is that this man is the man who discovered, out of the 250 different scientific publications that he wrote, he's the one credited with determining that vitamin E succinate is cytotoxic to cancer cells. When I first heard that was when I met Dr. Prasad in Atlanta, Georgia, back, that must have been 6 years or so ago. And my question to him was, does that mean then that vitamin E succinate and MMF cures brain cancer? He said it would if we could deliver enough of it across into the brain area. He said, but we can't. So not enough of it makes it into the brain. So that's part of the reason why no claims against treating or curing cancer is ever made. But how many of us even knew that there was multiple types, more than one kind of vitamin E? Well, Dr. Prasad knew that. He's the one that figured out that of all the vitamin E's, this is the one that happens to be cytotoxic to cancer cells. So if you have to have some vitamin E in your body, my rationale on that is if I have to have some vitamin E, I want one that's going to do a little bit more than just sit around and look nice. Do something while you're there. And taking care of cancer cells, cytotoxic to cancer cells means it kills them. So I'm thrilled to have that working in my body. So this man co-authored or authored himself 31 books. He's working on his 32nd one right now. So almost 88 years of age, and the man is still pumping out knowledge. Producing.
Jonathan, if
Yes.
you were to go back one page just before you advance there, a lot of what last night was about was the go ahead, go forward one on his accolades.
Yes.
There we go. Discovered that butyric acid, the small fatty acid formed by fermentation of fibers in the gut, is an anti-cancer agent as well. That is his premise for the whole prebiotic portion of our probiotic formula.
Ho, ho, ho.
So that right there, we spent a huge amount of time last night in our training on that aspect. And just as he discovered vitamin E succinate, he discovered butyric acid. And there's over 500 papers written about butyric acid now. He says that he wishes he would have patented both of those.
Missed it by that much.
And that's why there is such an emphasis on the prebiotic portion, 500 milligrams of different types of fiber, because he says you cannot supplement butyric acid. There is no way of getting it into the body. It has to be a body made. It's like an antioxidant. Well, if it's going to kill cancer in the gut, hello, that is so back then, that long ago, and he told us last night it was like 1980 when he discovered butyric acid. And so since 1980, he's wanted to put together a gut formula, and we finally have it. So
well, that's telling you folks something right there. Dr. Prasad is not normal. So we're very fortunate to have him. So, and really the reason why we say all of this to you now at this point, when we promise to talk to you about products, is because you could look at a bottle and you could just say, okay, well, cute bottle. You could even open it up and look at the capsules and say, well, what's so special about that? You could even look at some of the ingredients on the list and you could say to yourself, what's the big deal? I already take that. And if I had a nickel for every time someone told me that, I'd be pretty well off right now. But unless you understand the mind behind what caused these things to be formulated the unique way that they are, you could just brush it off. You could brush it off and you could say to yourself, that's not that big of a deal. And you could just be dismissive. And we're trying to help you to not be dismissive. This is that product. This is the original formula that $24 million was pumped into producing this, and decades of experience and research by that brilliant man, Dr. Kedar Prasad. There's the ingredients on the left side of the screen, instructions for how to take it on the right side. The basic rule of thumb, 2 capsules twice a day. That's the basic rule of thumb, 2 capsules twice a day. If you have a chronic problem, add a dose. Now, when we say add a dose, I should say when I say add a dose, when I say add a dose, that means either take it a third time, so that would be 2, 2, 2, right? Or you can divide that up and just increase it and take 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. So if you're the kind of person that's not disciplined enough to take it 3 times a day, then just go ahead and take 3 capsules twice a day. So if you have a chronic problem, add a dose. If you have a very serious problem, go 2x. If you have a life or death problem, go 3x. Okay, so just keep that basic rule of thumb in mind. And by the way, being over 50 is now considered a chronic problem. So it would be wise, if you can, if your budget will allow it, to add a dose. Okay, this is Dr. Prasad's CQF standard that was mentioned in the opening video as well. But let's just step forward here and talk a little bit about, oh, and by the way, this is the Micro Daily, the big brother of Micro Daily right here. This is the big brother of Micro Daily. This is the EMF. So Dr. Prasad became aware that we were being bombarded by even more radiation than the original formula had been allotted for. And mind you, he made that for the kind of radiation that astronauts would be exposed to, the kind of radiation that soldiers on the battlefield would be exposed to. But he found out that we would be exposed to radiation that was even more deadly and more devastating than they would be being exposed to. 5G radiation, 5G technology is 700 times more powerful than the original cell phone technology. So Dr. Prasad said, there's just not enough there. So he added 4 more ingredients and just stepped it up a notch. So now we have the EMF formula. We talked about CBD Boost last night, which is on Tuesday, and it really is a wonderful, wonderful product. But as I mentioned before, the hydro is the powder form of the original formula of Micro Daily. And by the way, I don't want to just dismiss this on this side of the page. This is the methylated form. So it's an advanced absorption. There are B vitamins, B9 and B12, that are more absorbable because they're in a methylated form in this product right here. Same methylated formulation is in the EMF, form of the product also. So you got the original, then you got the methylated or maximum absorption, and then you've got the EMF. So those are the 3 different levels that you have. The hydro is the same as the original formula. But let's talk a little bit about this brain boost here. So my question to Dr. Prasad about the brain boost was, what does it do? Now, he's gone through some of the science behind each of the ingredients and what they do. But truth be told, in a nutshell, this is food for neurons. So there was a time when they thought that the brain did not produce new neurons, and that's no longer valid reasoning, even in the science community. The brain does produce new neurons. This is the food that helps those neurons to form. It's like food for neurons. So the brain loves this stuff, and it does kind of turn on the lights and makes things a lot brighter from a mental point of view. The testimonials that come out of this brain boost are purely anecdotal, but we do have quite a few of them. There are folks who make the expression without knowing anything else about brain boost. They say to them, they say, I just don't have the brain fog anymore. And some folks buy it just for that by itself. Do we happen to have, I know we have Gail that's on. on the meeting tonight, but is Alex Holcomb on by chance? Bernard, did Alex make it to tonight's discussion?
I don't
Probably
think he
not.
did, Jonathan. I don't think he did.
Well, I'm going to just tell you Alex's story, just real brief. Bernard called up Alex, and I said to him that he had something unusual. Alex is a very health conscious, very, very health conscious individual. But Bernard says to him, I've got something you need to take a look at. And he found out that there was something called Brain Boost involved. And so we sent Alex a bottle of the Brain Boost. Quite frankly, I'd never heard anybody ask for a sample of Brain Boost. I just never heard anyone say, let me try that. So about 2 weeks later, we're just happening to be having a conversation where involving Bernard, his sister, and maybe somebody else. But Alex says, do you want to know what really convinced me that Dr. Prasad was not normal or that this was unusual? He said that Brain Boost. Then the day after, he says, under normal circumstances, he teaches certain classes. He says, when he's teaching, he says, while he's in the middle of teaching, he says, did I cover this paragraph? You all have had that feeling before, right? I've had that feeling, not recently and not but since I've been on Dr. Prasad's product, where you're saying to yourself, did I cover the material that I'm looking at right now? Where you just go blank. And has anybody ever had that sometimers where you walk into the room and then you say, why did I come in here? You had to go back out, sit down, start over again, and then remember why it was that you went into the other room. Well, Alex said that he would stand there and say to himself, did I cover this paragraph or not? He said the day after he took his first dose, the entire lesson that he was teaching, he never once wondered. He said everything was like it lit up. Testimonials is pretty anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. But we'll get Alex on and let him share his story at some point. But Bernard was there. He heard the whole story himself. So did I convey it accurately, Bernard?
Yes, you did, Jonathan. Right on target.
Okay. So confirmation. All right. So Brain Boost, very good thing. And one capsule twice a day. I can attest that from personal experience that it does make a difference. I no longer blow this off. I make sure that I take at least one a day. Sometimes I forget to take the second one. So it's just because running around and being busy. But I put forth every effort I can to get the both of them in. But let's talk a little bit about this iBoost. Has anyone had any personal experience with the iBoost before we go down this road? Has anyone had any personal experience yet where they've had any direct benefit from iBoost? If you haven't, that's okay.
I have.
But oh, did I hear something?
Yes.
Oh, that's Rob. Okay, hold on. Let's get Rob to tell his story. Go ahead, Rob. Let's start telling your story. Yeah, because you've shared this story with us before. I forgot all about you.
Oh, yes.
And want to add you to this discussion.
Okay. It was March. I woke up and my vision was pretty much 20/20 all my life. And the diabetes issues was happening, but March I woke up and my vision went down. I give it I like 50%. And to give you an example of that, if I didn't know you and you were 10 yards in front of me, I could not give a description of your facial features. And I got on the product, the iBoost. That was back in May. But from March through May, that was my vision. Okay. Start taking the product on May 15th. And on June 1st, I walked into my office and I had a whiteboard and I could see the numbers and the letters on the whiteboard clear as day. Prior to that, everything looked gray. I asked my daughters, I said, did you guys clean up the whiteboard? They said, no, Dad, we haven't touched it. And I said, oh my goodness, this stuff is really working. So what I did, I had 4 rows in my office. I sat in the first row. I could see it clear as day. The numbers were sharp and black. I stepped back in the second row, still could see it clear as day. That was about 15 yards away. I went in the third row and it went gray on me again. So I knew it was coming together, but it wasn't 100%. And I had a fourth row and I went back there and it was blurry. 2 weeks after that, and I just happened to be in the back row on a Saturday, and I looked up at the front of the room and I could see the whiteboard clear as day. And I almost bust out and cried because my vision was back. And it was the eye boost that did it. And I'm extremely elated because my vision is back, period. So there you have it. And that's why I've been on these Zooms as much as I have. I am a fan. I love the products and I'm sharing it, period. Jonathan, you are muted, or is it?
Yeah, no, it's not your hearing.
We need some air boost then.
Well, micro daily is supposed to cover that too, but no, it's not your ear. So very good. But no, thank you very much, Rob. It's always exciting for us when we hear these stories. And my favorite part is when I see Dr. Prasad's face light up when he hears the stories for the first time.
Yeah.
So when we blindside him and we're playing it for him, or a person is saying it, his face is like, he says, I theorize it. It's supposed to be that way. He said, but it's just, when you hear it and see it actually happening, he said, it's just amazing. So we get excited when we hear the story. So thank you for relating that.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Now there's a reason why this happened to Rob, and that's kind of what you all are here about right now. There's a reason for it. The eye, number one, has loads of glutathione in it, and every cell in the body suffers from oxidative stress. So when you're dealing with a cataract, that's oxidation that's taking place. So the theory is, and the science is that if you elevate glutathione levels even in the eyes, then the oxidation will improve. There's no question about it. It's just basic. But Dr. Prasad wasn't satisfied with that, because Micro Daily does that. And by the way, long before iBoost came out, I can't tell you how many stories I heard of people who had improved vision. Rebecca Abel, who's on the call right now, for example, there was no iBoost at the time, but the thing that got her attention was that she didn't see stars at night after she started taking Micro Daily. I remember her describing it. Her vision, she could see further. I remember her describing things about different signs or street signs that she was able to see that she had not been able to see before. So that was kind of nice to hear that. But there are 3 antioxidants in the eyes of an eagle that we don't have. Dr. Prasad and researchers have identified those 3 additional antioxidants, and Dr. Prasad put them here in the iBoost. So our eyes benefit from additional antioxidants that's normally present only in the eyes of an eagle that we get access to, and it benefits us. They've already proved that there are actual physical benefits that take place in human eyes. So you can look up those research studies on your own if you'd like to. So I'm not going to go into those. But the last thing that I really want us to talk a little bit about is the Collagen Daily. Now, folks, we really can't say enough about Collagen Daily. We've done PowerPoint presentations on them, and maybe I'm hoping that there's some here now that can share their own personal stories. You know that Michi Morris's mother That story was primarily Collagen Daily. She gave her mom Collagen Daily, and she gave her mom Brain Boost. Now, Dr. Prasad, the science tells us that when you consume these collagen peptides, that's what they are. They're the building blocks for collagen, because there's what, 20 some different types of collagen. The most common, there's 6 of the most common type, is type 6 that's in the brain. Type 1 and type 3 are the most common in the body. These are peptides taken from type 1 and type 3. When we consume them and it makes its way to the brain, crosses the blood-brain barrier, the brain knows how to convert it into the kind of collagen that's needed for neurological activity. And let's just seriously not delude ourselves into thinking that nothing is happening to our brain. There are scientists right now, there are studies right now that's showing that as a result of the virus that's still running rampant right now, that there is brain shrinkage. There's science and research right now showing that early onset dementia and other neurological problems is taking place right now. We are in an atmosphere where right now, our vital organs, including the brain, is under assault. It's being attacked. They had a group of people a unique group of people under a specific set of circumstances that they had done a bunch of MRIs and CAT scans for prior to the pandemic. So the scientists said, this is a unique opportunity for us. We can scan them and look at their brains now post-pandemic or after they've been exposed to COVID, some just the vaccines. We can scan them again, and they scanned them. Brain shrinkage. That should make chills run up and down your spine. Brain shrinkage. So I'm here to tell you that collagen peptide is the building blocks for the collagen in the brain, which is collagen type 6. And this is food for neurons. Do we need to say any more? And think about from this point of view too. The enzyme blockers that's in the Collagen Daily is important because we're losing collagen every day. Starting at age 20, we start losing collagen. That's why our skin is not where it was when we were back in our 20s. The shape of our skin is not the same, besides the expansion that we've gone through. That also, but still, it's not as elastic as it was. It's because we start losing collagen. There's an enzyme that causes us to degrade the collagen that we have. Dr. Prasad put the enzyme blocker in the Collagen Daily. It stops us from losing what we have. Plus, it helps the body, it has all the tools to help our body make more collagen. So there's collagen in our joints. There's collagen in our skin. There's collagen that holds our muscles and tissue together. There's collagen all throughout our brain. Every organ in our body has collagen. There's collagen for our collagen. It's everywhere. Now, the only thing that I personally have noticed, besides the fact that my brain is still doing what it's supposed to do, was I noticed that my skin, my mother always had flaky skin on her heel. And always the skin was always peeling off, always. And I noticed it was starting to happen to me, that same flaky, dry skin on my feet. And it's just not there anymore. I know that I'm not drinking the right amount of water still. You know how it is. It's hard to keep up with the right amount of water unless I carry 5 bottles of water and drop it on my desk and it's sitting there all day long. There's a pretty good chance I'm only going to get about 50% in, which means that we end up being dehydrated. But my feet are not scaly anymore. Dr. Prasad said it's not because of that loofah brush that I'm using and the loofah scrub. He said that's not it. It's the collagen peptide that's doing it. Anybody who's experienced or noticing anything different because since they've been taking collagen, Rebecca, please, Rebecca, tell us what you've noticed.
I noticed a lot. When I told the story about when I came out of the hospital, the collagen was like right in my drawer and I was ready to take it. And it did me very well. It did me really good. I enjoyed it. But when I go out of town sometime, I get out from my routine. And I did that. I even took my collagen with me. But a couple of days after I got back, I didn't take my collagen. So it's been like 2 days. And I feel sorry for myself because I wasn't able to walk there. I went for my walk and everything, but I was like, it's gonna be too hot. I'm not gonna be able to make it back. But I did make it back because the rain, it got everything got cooled off. But I made it back. But all I could do when I came back was go to sleep. I couldn't do anything. It was like I didn't have all that energy, all that will to do things that I normally do and just take for granted, just do it on a daily basis. I couldn't do it. I couldn't like hold a conversation on the phone and stuff like that. I couldn't even go to the post office. I had to have someone go with me and take care of the stuff or tell me what to do or write for my email. So I need to get back on my collagen.
Please stay on collagen, Rebecca. Don't do that anymore. We don't want to hear that you couldn't find your way back home because you stopped taking collagen, all right? So cut that out. Thank you for sharing your story. Shelly Dean, where are you? Okay.
I'm right here. Yes. So I'm very excited about
So we can, oh, there we go. Thank you for,
yes, I'm very excited about using the products. In fact, from the start, I didn't know too much because I was so busy. But my husband, was on it, telling me what I need to do and how I need to do it and what I need to take and so on. So coming from a situation of an existing thyroid problem and so forth, but also being in the skin and wellness industry myself personally. So collagen is what everybody's talking about in the skin and wellness industry, especially in the skin. All big skincare companies is forever telling you in how to create more collagen in your skin, different modalities to include in treatments, different things, products, and so forth. So myself, obviously, very much into that as well. But one thing that I can say is I have noticed on my right side, just all of a sudden, when I wake up, my eyes is swollen. Now, I know my dad has swollen eyes always when he wakes up, so I suppose I get it now. But it's been like that for a couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, just this one day, when I decided to take it, I noticed the next day my swelling is not there, like instantly within a day. And instantly within a day, I had energy taking the micro daily, because obviously the thyroid function does make you tired and so forth. So for me, I had literally within 24 hours result by using the products, and I have increased my dosage on micro daily because of thyroid, and I can feel the effects of increasing it and so on. And so I can really say it has helped me personally. Excited about it and love the medical things and the science behind everything, and will definitely continue to introduce it to my clients, which I already have. And just, excited to use it personally, to see my personal result and have my personal experience in telling people about it.
excellent. Thank you so much for being willing to share your story, Shelly. That's quite enlightening, and it's always good when we hear from multiple women. This is now 2 today, sharing their stories. So collagen is for real. At one time it was only about beauty, and so now Rebecca, with having a health issues, Shelly definitely confirmed that the whole beauty industry is hot right now for collagen, and having personal benefits from it. So and listen, folks, this is the only one that has enzyme inhibitors. Okay, out of the collagens out there, all of them have collagen peptides, the good ones. The better ones have hyaluronic acid. That's the thing that helps the skin become more, retain its liquid, the moisture. But not a one of them except ours has the enzyme inhibitors. Not a one. It's the only one. It's in a league all by itself. Dr. Prasad did not make the same mistakes this time. Between him, because of him and his relationship with David Nemelka, a patent was filed right away for this discovery. He won't look back on this one and say, I wish I'd patented that one. Please, Bernard.
Well, first of all, that beautiful lady before, you need to introduce me to her because she looked like a collagen recipient.
I told everybody she was your wife before you came on the call.
Well, and Jonathan, I've known you since the 70s. I'm glad that you told me it was a college. I just thought it was Vaseline, but that's a different story with me. But I wanted to tell everyone on a serious note, I'm over someone's house right now. And I had to come over here today because he called me. He actually went on the Collagen as well as the Micro Daily about 5 days ago. Now I call this guy Hulk. And the reason why I call him Hulk, he's real swollen, but unfortunately he's swollen in a bad way. I picked him on because he's a good friend of mine. But about 5 days ago, I gave him some collagen in a bag. And by the way, I know why my collagen is now disappearing. So my wife, I'm glad you signed up to have your own, and I expect for you to be ordering your next one for next month. But anyway, I gave him collagen and I gave him Micro Daily. And I told him everything that I've known. And he saw how excited I was. He normally do not believe me. And I mean, his feet were swollen and black, and his leg was black. And so he has trouble walking, he has trouble breathing. And matter of fact, he's here in the other room. And I don't think I can get him to come on. But anyway, today I noticed that instead of speaking with 3 words, he's speaking complete sentences, which is amazing. I heard it over the phone. He said, Bernard, he says, these things, he said, this stuff you gave me, man, you won't believe my leg. I said, what do you mean? He said, my feet is no longer swollen. He said, except for one toe got a little swelling. He said, my leg was black. And now it's turned to normal. And I don't even remember the last time I saw that. And so I decided to come over here about an hour ago to look at it. And as he put his leg up and he showed me his leg, his colors have come back into his leg. He said his feet was tingling, his leg was tingling. He said he didn't know what was going on, but he continued to take the Micro Daily and the collagen every day. And all of a sudden I looked at his leg and all the swelling in his feet is gone in 4 days. 4 days.
Wow.
And he never believed this would happen. Wow. And so now that I've come over and seen it, and he's walking normal, he's talking, and he's talking complete sentences. I've never heard this guy. I mean, one of the best speakers in the world, but he runs out of breath due to a physical condition. Now it's reversed. And like you were saying, it may not happen for everybody, but he said he never believed he would see this. And as we were talking, he would just stand up there, just kept looking at his leg. And then he says, another thing, my hands are going down. He said, the reason why I know it is that ring that was so tight on my finger, like this, is that it doesn't even fit no more.
Wow.
So he said it just falls off. It just falls off. So I'm just saying that because amazing people, you have to know what you have in your hands. Amazing products.
Wow. Bernard, thank you for adding that component to this story. And you think about it, folks. Let me give a disclaimer first. The FDA has not evaluated any of these comments or expressions. Micro Daily, Brain Boost, Eye Boost, Collagen Daily, MMF. Those are not cures or treatment for any disease. Engage Global makes no claim that any of their supplements are a treatment for or a cure for a disease state. Results are atypical. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. But when you connect the dots and you hear these folks all telling their stories, and you take a look at the science, and you take note of the man behind it all, who is still alive now. And by the way, we'll be having another discussion with him. He was interviewed last night. Jeff and Helen had him on a program last night. They were discussing the gut brain connection. We'll be talking about gut bacteria and the importance of the immune system this coming Sunday at 5 o'clock on this same program. So this same Zoom ID and password will work for this coming Sunday at 5 o'clock. You want to invite everybody that has not caught the previous discussions this week. You want them there this coming Sunday. So you just add all that up and you have to say to yourself, there's something unusual taking place right now. Could it be that some information has finally come to light that could make a difference in the lives of a lot of people? That's cheap and easy to do. The original Micro Daily is only $53 a bottle. The EMF, the best one of them all, in my opinion, should be sold for more like $150, but it's only $73 per bottle. And the brain boost and the eye boost, I think one is $30 and the other one is $40. And the Collagen Daily, the same thing. It's only about what, $65 or so. So you're talking inexpensive. And for what they do, they should be a lot more. They should cost a lot more for what they do. So if you're here for the first time and someone invited you, just get back to the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will help you set up your own subscription for the product. My recommendation is don't pay full price. Okay, don't pay full price. I'm gonna see if I can find. I had a document here I really wanted to show you all, but don't pay full price for the product. What you want to do is get a subscription, and with a subscription, what'll happen is you get the 25% discount that all the rest of us receive on the product. But there's something else another advantage that you'll get. And I want you to see this. I've never shown this, not even once on any presentation ever that I've done on Zoom. This is the first time I'm actually bringing this document up because I think people need to know about this. And I'm going to show it more often now. You know what this is? Yeah, it doesn't take rocket science to know what it is, does it? You can actually see it, and you can read it for yourself. I'm trying to change the perspective. But it's Engage Global put in writing their level of confidence in their products. It's not a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's a 90-day money-back guarantee. So look at that carefully. And whoever is invited you can share this with you. All you have to do, if for any reason, you see it there? Let's read the first paragraph. If for any reason you're not satisfied with your first bottle of any Engage product, we will issue you a refund. Call the phone number or send an email within 90 days of your purchase date, and we will issue you a refund. And then the next paragraph says, if you have a product that you're not satisfied with, you can return it to the company. Just call within 90 days and you'll get a refund. So the first bottle, it can be empty and they'll still give you a refund on that one within 90 days. Any unopened product, they'll give you a refund within 90 days for the product. And if you pass the 90-day period and you still have a problem and you say to yourself, no, this is just not working for me, and you have something that's never been opened past 90 days, you can give me a call for that. Me and Jeff will take care of that. Because in fact, I have a client right now that for some reason, she said she had some kind of allergic reaction to one of the products, and which is very difficult for me to believe, but it doesn't matter because I have people right now, clients right now waiting for that particular product. So no problem at all. She can drop it right back off to the office and she will get her money back for it. But we never have anyone asking for their money back. So you got a 90-day window there. 90-day, but just that rare person just happened just this past week. Only this week is the first time it's ever happened where someone said that I would like, I can't use this. More often than not, we have folks that say, do you have any more? I need it now. I need it now. I don't want to wait for the company to ship it. Do you have it now? So we have that happening a lot. Okay, so we're going to pause here for a second and see if there's any questions that were not covered in the presentation thus far. Any questions on that somehow was missed or overlooked? No? Okay, well, very good. Very good. Love it when that happens.
Actually, Jonathan,
Yes, Rob, go ahead.
I do have a question. One of my members have received the collagen and she has a question. She texted earlier this week. She would like to know if the enzyme inhibitors interfere with the digestive enzyme. I don't have a clue.
Very good, very good. Good question.
Okay.
And the answer is absolutely not.
Okay.
But the reason for it is more important than the direct answer.
Okay.
Digestive enzymes are only focused in on the gut area. So digestive enzymes are produced by organs in the body that help the gut break down and use food that we consume. Dr. Prasad's enzymes inhibitors is only inhibiting the specific enzyme that degrades collagen in the body over time. Only that enzyme. There's only that enzyme that causes our collagen in our body to slip out the back door.
Awesome.
So it's only two things that do it. It's in white tea and it's extracted from another fruit, the
Amla.
amla fruit. Yeah, thank you. Only thing was coming up was ABBA, but the amla fruit. The enzyme inhibitors are extracted from the amla fruit and from white tea. And that's all it does is block the enzyme that causes our collagen to go down. So thank you, Rob, for raising that question.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan.
Quite welcome. Okay, folks. So this is the official end of the product presentation for tonight. Once again, for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. Today is August the 18th, 2022. I'm not a medical doctor. I recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust when it comes to making decisions about your health and well-being. Don't do anything I say because I say it, please. So I'm just a researcher and I provide information, and this discussion has been for information and educational purposes only. Any testimonies that you've heard are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. But we're going to switch now and transition over into the business meeting. So if you were here just for the product presentation, you can feel free to leave now if you like. But we're going to have a brief business meeting right now in transition. It's only going to take us about 30 minutes to cover a few things with you folks for the evening. So hang on just 1 second, and I got to log in with my other device here for a second. So give me 1 minute, okay?
Appreciated hearing all of the experiences. Thank you. Thank all of you that had the courage to tell them. Really enjoyed them.
I agree. Specifically, your wife Shelley coming on and sharing with us, and goodness, Rebecca's always her testimonies are just off the charts. So awesome. It's going to be fun, Bernard, to meet your friend, the Hulk. See how much different he's going to be.
I wanted to talk him into coming over here. I'm gonna see whether I can talk him to say hello to you. Hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Rebecca, amazing. And I just always look for you on the calls. We can tell you the way that you've got your light lit up and the shadow behind you and stuff. It's like, oh, there's Rebecca. That's great. I mean, we know we're going to have a good meeting because if we have to, we can always go to you for a testimonial. So thank you. Great one.
I don't know if I said it right. I had just woke up. I was like, I hope I wake up so I could be on the call.
I know that there's some others too that have stories. I saw Jacqueline Smith on here, and I know she's got stories.
And also my friend that I was telling you about, is going to come here and tell you a little bit about what he's experiencing.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, just give him a couple of minutes.
You may want to get your recording going, Jonathan.
It should be going, isn't it?
Okay. Well, I can't see it because you do that YouTube thing.
Actually, I didn't see it. I didn't see it either.
It says live on YouTube right now.
Oh, there you go. Up in the corner.
I won't make that mistake of not capturing these things anymore. You know what edema and lymphedema is and how deadly it is?
Yes.
Yep.
I know.
Well, Janice Williams, that was on Lunch and Learn today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night. If you could hear her whole story, that lymphedema has gotten so bad for her.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the update.
One of her legs was 283 pounds.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, she is over 500. So, hey, there he is.
Hello, sir. Tell us
Who
your
is
name,
it?
please.
I'm Art. How you doing?
Very
I'm
good,
Daryl
Art.
Singleton. I'm Daryl Singleton.
You're Daryl
And,
Singleton. Oh, okay. Yes. You know what?
mhm.
Daryl, we've met. So
We have.
Yeah. Either over the phone or
That's Jonathan Jones. All right.
yes.
Yeah, let me just tell you a little experience. Bernard came to me and told me, I was out of breath a lot, losing air, couldn't speak that well because I was grasping for air. And then I had a lot of swelling, especially in my legs and feet. And it was hard to get him. So Bernard came with this stuff and told me, Daryl, you gotta try this out and take about 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening. So I told him I would do it. I was skeptical about it, but my feet started going down and all the swelling went out of the feet. And they were kind of like black, the feet. And the color came back in the feet. The feet shrunk down and then my legs started going down. But I started feeling a lot of tingling in my hands because I had real big, huge hands because of the swelling.
Wow.
All that started going down. What I've been noticing at first was my voice. I was able to speak and, complete a sentence because I wasn't doing else, so that kind of slowed me down. But other than that, everything, feet and swelling been going down. I've been able to walk. I would go to the grocery store and couldn't make it to the door. That's how bad it was. Now I'm able to walk around the grocery store and do what I need to do. I'm taking care of my triplets. I got triplets, grandkids that I stay with 3 times a week, and I take care of them. I couldn't even lift them up, and I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, but I don't know. These things have been happening since I've been taking the stuff, and I'm impressed myself because I'm here talking to you guys without stressing out.
Wow, Daryl, that's amazing. What's your diagnosis? What does the doctor diagnose you with, if you don't mind sharing?
No, I haven't. I hadn't been back to the doctor to explain this. I will be going there, but I don't know what they're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff works. We're real skeptical. I'm still feeling a little tingling in the hands and feet, but they actually went down. But I still feel like tingles. It's telling me something's working, something's happening.
Yeah, the circulation is restoring.
Oh yeah, you can tell that, and I'm able to bend down and tie my shoe.
Oh wow!
Because I wasn't able to tie my shoes.
Wow.
I wasn't able to put on a regular shoe because my feet were swollen. I wear a size 10.5, and I was wearing a 13 something just to get in some shoes.
My
You
goodness.
guys got to understand this. This stuff was bad. I mean, and I would sleep. I would try to sleep off the pain, and couldn't do it. But now, now I feel a lot better.
So it's a form of,
You see all this white hair?
yeah.
That comes from pain. It comes from pain.
Yeah, stress.
Yeah, stress, pain, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the product works. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with it. I don't know what else to say to you, but hey, it's like a little miracle.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So, is it lymphedema? Is that what your doctor has said about your condition?
No, I had a lot of nerve damage. I had a total hip replacement, and that too, my hip was killing me. Had a total hip replacement, and then I was working on a piece of bone. Piece of bone was like hanging on my hip.
Yeah.
Didn't come out. Doctors were wondering why I was still working, but I was taught that you work for your family till you drop, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they pulled me out of work and did the total hip replacement. Then I had some nerve damage in the lower lumbar and upper neck area. And I was having many strokes, stroking out,
Mm-hmm.
scaring my wife to death. So they did the operation on that. But I was having a lot of nerve damage, and a lot of the swelling and stuff comes from nerve damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was a little skeptical about taking these, because I was telling Bernard, I said, this is nerves. You don't heal nerves, right? It's nerve damage, So, me and him go at it all the time. Because, Bernard, I've been knowing Bernard for about, it's been about 45 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and him go back a way. So he's a very, very good friend of mine. I don't let people, I wasn't going to do this either. But I'm telling you, I'm doing it because he's a real good friend of mine, and I trust him. So, me and him is like real brothers. So,
Wonderful.
And that's why I'm on here today. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't see me.
Well, thank you very much. And Daryl, we're going to share your story with other people. So, in fact, it's already being broadcast all over the place. So, sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I'll jump on Bernard.
Okay. Thank you again. So,
Thank you, Darren.
So Bernard, I didn't throw you under the bus, Bernard. I didn't tell him I've been trying to get you to take this over to him for years now. So I didn't say that. I didn't bring that up.
That's okay. It takes me a while there, Jonathan. It wasn't like I've been believing you all the time. I know. You got to get credibility. Now, see if you tell me it's gonna rain, I'll go get my umbrella. All right, I'll leave people on their time, so I'll go ahead and mute.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bernard, for doing that for us and getting Daryl to tell his story. Thank you. That's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it, folks?